Richard,
It's right there.
back to the PowerPoint.
Oh, all right. Wait, you have to explain to Eric what we did.
Oh yeah, Eric. So here's how this is going to work. We are presenting a presentation, okay? It's about pickled watermelon. Not only that, but in order to test our great presentation skills, you know, Hareen as a professional designer and me, a broke college student, we are also doing this thing where she designed 6 of the slides, I designed the other 6 of the slides, and we're going to present each other's slides in alternation, okay? So this is the first slide. Welcome everybody to a summer pickle, okay? This is a watermelon pickle. It's a pickled watermelon. Richard, can you tap the next button?
Oh my god.
Okay, it's by Hareen and me. You can see there's a picture of a watermelon on the slide. Okay,
I don't see anything this great.
Richard, go ahead, Hareen.
Okay, guys. So some brief pickle history, so we're all on the same page. Pickling was invented by Dr. Michael Pickle in the year 1200. He's pictured right here. You may think he's similar to Abraham Lincoln, but you would be wrong.
I'm just wrong.
He invented pickling when he accidentally dropped a carrot in a jar of his tears. It was really hard back in 1200, so you got to make do with what you got. Coincidentally enough, his son, Dill Pickle, later invented what we now know as pickled cucumbers in the year 1204. A lot happened in those 4 years, a lot of experimentation. Next slide, please.
Oh. All right, so some of you might not be so familiar with what a watermelon is, and we need to experience our lesson in watermelon anatomy. Okay, as you can see here on the right, we have an arrow pointing to the flesh. So that's the red stuff. That's the part that is good and delicious. As you can see, this poorly kind of drawn arrow at the wrong thing is the seeds. The seeds are the things that you can eat and also grow the watermelon. Again,
eat the seeds. What the fuck?
Shut the fuck up, Frank. Don't interrupt. Okay, so next we have the rind, which is again kind of poorly pointed out, but we have it's kind of like when the red stuff turns into the white stuff, and then we have skin. Skin is on the outside, just like us. You know, we have skin on the outside, and we have flesh on the inside, and we do have a bit of a rind. Okay, next slide. You've learned a lot about watermelon anatomy. Okay, go next. There's transitions.
Is that it?
No, there's more. Just
once more, please. Once more again. Okay, great. All right,
there's
guys.
one more after that.
Oh, okay. What is the big deal? Some little wordplay there about pickling. You may ask. Excellent question. Excellent question. So pickling is when you salt things to make them last longer. You know when you're frying an egg and you have to season it with some salt and pepper? You're essentially pickling your eggs. Pickling also helps make things taste better and longer because pickling involves salt. And as we know, salt is flavored. Going back to my egg example, if you didn't have salt on your eggs, they wouldn't taste good. Similar premise. Also worth calling out, a lot of people eat pickles.
Yes.
In general. In fact, my mother makes kimchi, which is a special spicy type of pickle. So thank you to my mom. As you can see, she's pictured in the middle. That's me at the very bottom, 10 years ago. And there is my mother, the blonde one, and my father, the man. There is the kimchi my mom makes, the spicy pickle, and she uses Pickle Rick for her special kimchi. That's what, really gives it that zest and kick. Next slide, please.
Okay, so pickling. It's where does pickling happen? So pickling happens in the southern United States, and only in the southern United States. And that includes Georgia, which is where I am at right now. Pickling also happens in Russia and other Soviet countries. And that's because these countries are poor and
my God.
eat more pickles. Okay, next slide.
Oh, okay. So specifically with pickling watermelons, there's several different flavors, because we like to cater to all different types of taste buds. There's spicy, if you're a bitch. There is also salty, if you're a bitch. Lastly, there is sweet. Also good if you are a bitch. We really cater to all sorts of people here with pickled watermelon. Next slide, please.
Where did one of the graphs go?
Okay, so you're probably wondering, what kind of points do pickles get? And so as you can see here, we have 4 teams of pickles and 2 periods of pickles. Now there's the how does this have to do anything with pickled watermelon? There's the pre salt pickle, and there's the post salt pickled eras in the period. As you can see, the teams, they do better post pickling. Okay, so as you can see in the points scored in the bar graphs on the left, the left side, period 1, no pickling, always does worse than the period 2, except for team 2. We don't know what happened with team 2. It is an outlier in the information. You can see with the trends on the right that pickling is generally better than not pickling. You can see that because the light blue line, which is pickling, is above dark blue line, which is not pickling. Okay, Richard, that's the data. Hit the next slide. You gotta keep, okay.
Okay, so, real quick, if any one of y'all is interested in getting into the pickled watermelon game, let me tell you, the returns are high. Like, pitch this on Shark Tank, Mark Cuban will be blown away by how cheap watermelon and salt both are. You know what, let's just look at the facts. Watermelon is delicious. Pickles are delicious. Put them together, the solution is invest in pickled watermelon, and you will see your fat stacks increase as pictured. Honestly, I don't know why I'm telling you guys this stuff. Like, should have kept this a secret, but I want to let y'all in on this little secret. Let's make pickled watermelon the next popcorn. Next slide, please.
Leo?
All right.
Oh.
So, pickled watermelon is not your grandma's pickle. This is some new shit. This is cutting edge, state of the art watermelon. Okay. So, pickled watermelon is tangy. It's tart. It's slightly sweet if you're a bitch. It's briny. It's cinnamony. My grandmother, as you can see on the right, pictured here with me, and used to call them marinated peppers because they're such a staple dish in our home. And as you can see on the picture to the right, we are just stuffing ourselves with pickled watermelon. You can see it right on our plates. Okay, Richard, next slide.
So we've been spending a lot of time, I think just imagining
God.
red watermelon. Just imagining red watermelon because that's the norm. But what about yellow watermelon? They're out there. They're up to something. So we got to think about, is yellow watermelon a good candidate for pickling? So some fast facts about yellow watermelon. It's bad at driving. That's a fact. It's delicious. More of an opinion, really. And lastly, it's suspicious. Also a fact. I mean, let's look at these unprecedented times, y'all. So it's up to you if you want to pickle yellow watermelon. Put it out there that you may want to be a little careful around them, around the foreign yellow watermelon from the Orient, as they call it. Next slide, please.
The watermelons are Asian?
Next slide, Richard.
No questions?
All right, we got to make a clear distinction here. We're not talking about pickling metal, probably because we've been talking about watermelons the entire time. But pickling metal is different, okay? Pickling metal is when a metal surface treatment is used to remove impurities such as stains, inorganic contaminants, rust or scale from ferrous materials, copper, and precious metals, and aluminum alloys. A solution called pickle liquor, which usually contains acid, is used to remove the surface impurities. Okay, this is all important information if you want to get into pickle watermelon, because you don't want to pickle the watermelon like it's a metal. Okay, commonly used to descale or clean steel in various steel making processes. On the other hand, what you're supposed to do, now hear me out, this is very important. Pickling, we're supposed to pickle it like it's food. Watermelon is food, so we should pickle it like it's food, okay? It's that pickling food is the process of preserving and extending the shelf life of food by either anaerobic fermentation in brine or immersion in vinegar. Procedures used typically affect the food's texture, taste, and flavor. The resulting food is called a pickle, or to prevent ambiguity, preface with pickled watermelon. Okay, next slide, Richard. Yes, this is the green means go, and that's the X. Okay, and here's our last slide. Do you have any questions on your rind?
We would be happy to answer them. I know this is a lot of information. Just take it in, pickle on it. Let us know.
Let it pickle.
You can pickle lettuce.